pulling up. I'm in a brand new model. It'll be here tomorrow. I don't got fears or problems. Only got real ones round them. Only got. It take a week.
From a city that's played host to 10 Super Bowls, here's a look inside the Mercedes-Benz Superdome in New Orleans. This is what it looked like just a moment ago in the heart of New Orleans. Folks, there's no place for this noise to go in the Superdome. It is loud, and these fans are ready for football as their Saints get ready to do battle with the Houston Texans. Here's a punter, Thomas Morstead, to get this one started. And we are underway on a Monday night. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
The Texans take over first and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
Set, 19, 24. You remember me? Let's go.
Now a first-time Pro Bowler from a year ago, Lamar Miller. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
He finds an opening past the 40. And finally marked down at the 42-yard line. That one covers 29 yards, first down.
Coming in, he really liked his chance of having a big year based on a terrific offseason. And runs like that on opening weekend show that he's right.
Miller, and he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Set, 19. Check, 47. I'm trying to collect.
They'll try the air now with Watson. And Stills bringing it in. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be third down. Now, this is just the 5th all-time meeting between the Texans and Saints here taking place in Week 1. And they have split the previous 4 meetings. Of course, the Texans entering the league in 2002. But you would think that these two teams would have met more because the cities are only separated by 350 miles, I-10 connecting them. In fact, for New Orleans, Houston is the closest NFL city of any in the league. So it's kind of interesting that this is only the 5th time that they have met. The last time they got together, November of 2015, the Texans winning that one 24-6. That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short, no good, and this will remain a scoreless game. Well, that opening drive looked good for a moment there, but they'll wind up being turned away thanks to the missed field goal.
And those especially hurt when you come into a game on the road. You're trying to get things to go your way early, and now you suffer a setback right out of the gate.
This is Alvin Kamara, who made the Pro Bowl in each of his first 2 NFL seasons. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
5'8". He can't hang. He's not going to get me. Check 3, check 3.
On second down, Kamara. And he works his way forward for about 4 up to the midfield stripe.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
And they pick up 25 as they convert on third.
The Saints spent a 3rd-round pick on Traquan Smith out of UCF in 2018, and what a thrilling season for him. He was the guy that caught the pass from Drew Brees that moved him past Peyton Manning to become the all-time leading passer in NFL history.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
At the Texans' 20-yard line.
To throw, it's Breeze. They'll set up the screen now to Kamara. Kamara's got the first down and then some. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. A 20-yard touchdown as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Will Lutz on for the point after. And it's good as the Saints have a 7-0 lead. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, well, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
From the 27, Watson forced out to his left. That complete to Lamar Miller. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down. So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Watson. It's complete. Stills. The 20. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Kenny Stills, 49 yards, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Kaimi Fairbairn on for the extra point. It's good, and we're all tied at 7 apiece.
That ties the game at 7.
So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. Fairly short kick, taking it to 14 here. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. They were successful last time finding the end zone on their opening drive of the season. And they'll get another shot here with a 1st and 10. And he's going to get about 7 yards on that one, up to around the 33.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early, because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
Throwing on 2nd and 3. Breeze. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Gary and Conley. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. Demario Davis, who was the Saints' leading tackler in his first year in New Orleans, in on the stop. These two teams all tied after one. Throwing on 2nd and 8. Watson. It's complete to Fuller. This will be a gain of about 8 to the 27-yard line.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he get a good head of steam going.
And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. Well, after an interception, last thing you want to do is go 3 and out, give the ball right back. They avoided that.
Yeah, you definitely do not want to do that. I remember in college I played with a really big-time player on defense. We ended up getting an interception as we passed the offense coming out. He told him, if you don't take care of this football, you have to answer to me later. You definitely want to take care of it, pick up first downs.
Watson on target here to Fuller. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do.
And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Lamar Miller, 48 yards. And the Texans have taken the lead. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep to your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. A tale of two extremes already in this game. A touchdown pass on their opening drive, followed by an interception last time out.
Now, it sounds like things balance out, right? What's that mythological thing that we do? If you have a candy bar, have a diet soda with it, it balances it out. And we know that's not really true, right? Because the interception, that sting lingers a little bit longer. Got to come out now and put together some nice plays.
They'll run. This is Kamara. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Alvin Kamara, already his second touchdown here in this opening weekend, as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. Lutz with the extra point, and we've got a tie game here in a back-and-forth first half. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he'd taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And now last drive so successful with the ground game, ending in a touchdown. Do you stick with that formula?
That would be the number one thing you would think of, but so many guys now would look at it and say, we've got them set up so well for play action, now's the time to take a shot.
Yeah.
But, you know, there was a big-time coach in the state of Ohio who once said, if you throw the ball, if you put it in the air, 3 things can happen, and 2 of them are bad. He would have kept it on the ground.
Throwing on second down, Watson. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. Sheldon Rankins abruptly ends that play with a sack.
So this has been a lot like a tennis match, hasn't it? Back and forth. Both of these offenses having their way so far. So maybe the question isn't who's going to score the most points in this game. Maybe it's who's going to get some stops.
Yeah, absolutely. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, the rookie from Florida. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
A little jet sweep to start the drive. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13.
Ready? 13. 5-8. 5-8. Here we go.
Here's Breeze to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Jared Cook, the tight end, was the target. 3rd down here. The turnover put him in great field position. They don't want to squander it with 3rd down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
Sammy! That's what I do.
On 3rd and long, it's Breeze. And that is incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. The bottom line, tremendous starting field position, really squandered there as they wind up going backwards and then come up with just 3.
Well, getting the 3 turned out to be important. I can imagine the head coach when he ordered the field goal. Please salvage something out of this drive. That was not fun to watch.
And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. And we remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll hand things off to the coach, Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have a look back at a very intriguing opening weekend in the NFL. They'll run with Miller. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the first. An effective 7-yard 3rd down conversion.
Both sevens and Mike. Let's go, tight end.
Play action from Miller. Now Watson sliding out of the pocket. On the run, he'll let this go deep right. And this is taken in at the 5. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. So it's 1st and goal and a great opportunity to get that lead back before the break.
Check 3.
They'll try to run for it with Miller. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make...
Hammering for the goal line. He loses the football. And that is going to skip out of bounds. So a break there for sure. They'll hold on to the possession at the 5-yard line. The crowd here in the Dome making things difficult. 3rd and goal. A shotgun snap for Watson. Escaping the pressure right. And that's going to be knocked away in the end zone. It's incomplete. Marshawn Lattimore right there on the coverage. He was draped all over it. The kick by Fairbairn is good. No one attempted or made more field goals than Fairbairn last year. He was 37 of 42.
And they were grateful for every one of those that put 3 points on the board. But I'll guarantee you, Bill O'Brien, the head coach, is thinking to himself, we need to use them a lot less in 2019. Let's make sure we score some more touchdowns.
17-17 the score. All even to this point as the kick's away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. Time here for likely one play, and then these two teams will head to the locker room all even.
And you know the play caller's just feeling it right now. Let's go ahead and go for this one. A big shot downfield. No. Guarantee the head coach is like, don't get crazy. Take the knee. Let's get out of here. Tie game. We'll just start all over.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half.
Keep playing hard. Ready.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. First half showed us some pretty good offense. Tie game, we'll see what the second half brings.
And it'll be interesting because I think both sides feel pretty good about what their offenses are doing. Gotta wonder what adjustments are being made defensively to try and get a spark and maybe slow down the other side.
But here, do you change up anything on this opening drive?
Not offensively, you don't. You got everything going your way. You've probably prepared for maybe some change-ups you might expect, but overall, you like what your game plan's showing you.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. 20! And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Alvin Kamara with now 3 week 1 touchdowns as his guys are able to regain the lead. Lutz good on the extra point, and they will take a 7-point lead. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line.
The Texans take over first and 10 at their own 21-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And this game was all square at halftime, but now they find themselves down 7 following the opening drive touchdown here in the third quarter. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The sack coming from defensive end Cameron Jordan.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now after the sack. It's 2nd and 20. Back to throw, Watson. It's caught, Stills, right side. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 36 yards on the play. The big play has them all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10. On the jet sweep, here comes Fuller. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down. Now on 2nd and 13. Watson. He's got Fuller. And this is going to be another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Saints 35. So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. Here's a run on 1st down that won't even get back to the line of scrimmage. He will lose a yard. 2nd and 11. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. Here's Watson. This is Miller, complete. A good gain of 9 before he's brought down at the 28.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Check 56. I got him. 24. 56 is Mike. 56 is the Mike.
Watson on third down. That's caught. It's Thomas. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Jordan Thomas, 28 yards, as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. And, oh, he missed it. No good. And they'll remain down by a point. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
It's a pickup of 3. Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 28-yard line.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. They run it again with Kamara. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 10 yards, good for the Saints, first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Throwing on first down is Breeze. That's complete to his running back, Kamara. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Carlos Watkins. What a play by him. That's going to go as a loss of 13. 3rd and long now after the sack of Breeze, and the Saints up against it here.
53.
Shotgun now for Breeze. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But you know there's usually a nice comfort zone in throwing to the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds.
At their own 21-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive.
I got you. You got tight. You got tight. You got tight right there.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Lamar Miller. And he takes it all the way down to the 32. A huge play there for Houston. 47 yards on the ground. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Give him maybe a yard, quite the opposite from the previous big gainer. We are through 3 quarters here on NFL Kickoff Weekend. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. In 2018, Deshaun Watson had 5 fourth-quarter comebacks. Only Drew Brees of the Saints had more with 6. On 2nd and 9, Watson. Oh, into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Janoris Jenkins. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line.
This is such a good read defensively. They know that this offense is going to try to get the ball to their playmaker in space. So what do? They crowd him and send bodies at him. And this one winds up being intercepted.
So after the INT, it's Breeze. And this is a catch by Ted Ginn. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Some pretty good games all weekend. We may have saved the best for last. This Monday night game has been a dandy. Breeze leaves this one with Kamara. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
First catch for last year's NFL catch leader, and it's a first down. Breeze now, 5 straight completions here in this second half, 1st and 10. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
He's got a man. It's his fullback. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. From 17 yards out. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. And he wasn't blocking or running it there. They tossed it to him.
And you remember the good old days when the 49ers were riding roughshod in the league? They used their fullback in pass plays all the time. Roger Craig, Tom Rathman, those guys were terrific at running these types of plays.
Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
The Texans take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
A pickup of 11 at a Texans first down.
A gain of 11 on the play.
And that last reception puts him over 150 yards now on the game, Charles.
And now it's not just execution. It's not just performance. It's a mental aspect that's going on. Because right now, he has got the defense so much on their heels, got them looking at each other. Who's going to cover this guy, and what type of coverage can we put out there to try and slow him down?
So 2nd in inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. Now it's Watson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Cameron Jordan, his 2nd sack of the night. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
To try again after the sack. Watson. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-armed guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. It's the linebacker, Alex Anzalone. Stills the intended target. Agreed, that's twice now in this fourth quarter.
As a quarterback, a lot of times you think it's all on you to make plays when you're losing. And here, the play's not there, but he throws it anyway.
They begin on the ground with Kamara. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
The tackle made by Whitney Merciless.
Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. They've got a 2nd down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. Running with Kamara. Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now.
And this is an absolutely big 3rd down that's been set up here, partner, and there's no other way to put it. The defense has to get a stop here if they have any hopes of winning this game.
Has to. You said big 3rd down. I'd put the word big in capital letters here. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Vernon Hargraves with a pick. And the return across midfield and to the 46-yard line. A critical error there in a tight game of the fourth.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the fourth quarter, turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the fourth quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
2nd and 8 at the 44-yard line.
19!
They'll look to throw. On the move to his left. He's going to let it fly. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by Janoris Jenkins. Well, Charles, he's thrown 5 picks in a game before, and right now, after that one, he's standing on number 4.
And right now, your defensive coordinator is asking the offensive coordinator, can you do anything to slow this down? Because my guys have to keep running back out on the field. So.
And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds left to play. But following the sack, they'll try to change their fortune here on 2nd and 13. Give him 2 yards that time, and it's going to leave him with a 3rd and 11 situation. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game.
Kill. Hey, easy. Bravo. Mike 41. I'm going to wedge that,
To throw is Breeze. He's going to fire one deep over. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A big gain there, and that should certainly be enough to put this one in the win column.
At the 37-yard line.
So this one, a victory here for New Orleans. And with that, our journey begins, Charles.